I come from a family of four, my mom, my dad, my brother, and I. And a lot of you might not know, but I'm a single mom of two girls. My first was Alana Joy, and I had her when I was 15, and right now she's 7. Well, actually, if she was here right now, she'd be like, Mom, 7.5. But anyways, my youngest is Elise. She's 4, and she is so sassy. It's ridiculous. She drives me crazy sometimes, but of course I love her. They were born in my hometown, Davidson, North Carolina, and when I got accepted to grad school here at Florida State, they moved with me in August so I can stay and live with my grandmother, and they're living with me too right now until I finish school and graduate in December 2009. And I'm really lucky to have such a supportive and loving family.
Okay, so I had a boyfriend of 5 years, and this girl on MySpace messaged me and told me that she's been sleeping with him for 3 years, and that she didn't know if we were together or not because my status on my MySpace page is single because I just never really thought about it. So anyway, he denies the entire thing, so the only way I can make him confess is if I go to his work. So I bring this girl, Ryan, to his work. I go to his office to try to get him to come out to the lobby with me. He sees her and he was like, oh, this is interesting. And I was like, yeah, is there anything you need to say to me? And he goes, not anything you don't already know. So I was like, okay, Ryan, is there anything you want to say to him? And she goes, no, I'm just glad you finally know. So the first thing I do, I leave his work, I go to Wawa, I buy a gas can and matches and, of course, gas. I go to his house, he always leaves his house unlocked, and I get every single piece of clothing he owns, his socks, his shoes, everything, his t-shirts, his pillowcases, his sheets, everything. He didn't have anything except what he wore to work that day, and I burnt it in his backyard.
Okay, so this one time my roommate and I were going to drive up to South Carolina for the weekend to go visit my parents. But she had to wait in class for a while, so I was like, I'll go get Chick-fil-A while I'm waiting for her. And I go to Chick-fil-A and it's pouring down rain. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to be smart and put all my Chick-fil-A in my backpack and I'll just carry these 2 huge cups of tea I have. So I'm cutting through the post office because, well, it's raining and there's this huge tour group in there. And I'm like, oh no, and I try to cut around the tour group and all of a sudden my feet are over my head and I'm on the floor and all the stuff in my backpack is totally smashed. But in the process, I have like squeezed these 2 huge things of sweet tea. And I am like laying there, oh no, I'm covered in sweet tea. And I open my eyes, and I'm totally dry. And I look around and the whole tour group is covered in my tea.
Okay, my whole life I wanted to serve a mission with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and once I was 21 I was able to go. So I filled up my paperwork and I arrived at the MTC, the Mission Training Center in Salt Lake City, and I had to learn Spanish because I was going to Panama for 18 months. I had never learned a lick of Spanish, but they basically give you a Bible in Spanish and try to teach you as much as possible. And once I arrived in Panama, my first companion, Sister Smith, and I were going to talk to this family, and it was my turn to teach a lesson, and it had to be all in Spanish, and I was still having trouble with it, and so I was teaching my lesson, and I got mixed up, and so I was teaching, and I was praying, and I was telling her that, you know, I don't believe in Jesus Christ, and that I don't believe in all this because I got it mixed up. Instead of saying belief, I said I don't believe. And at the end, they were all just looking at me, and I couldn't figure out what the problem was. And so, you know, I smiled and left, and at the end, she went and told me what I said, and I was extremely embarrassed.